So I wanted to address some things in this video that I see. So when I was growing up, I believed in accountability and integrity. This is what I was taught. I was taught, you did right by people and they did right by you. And the world that I see is very different. Now, I myself have made some mistakes, made bad decisions. Everyone has. But I learn from them. I don't blame others for things that I did. And so I've spent my since being married and having kids, I've spent the last maybe 10, 12 years trying to do right by people and trying to do right by my family. And so many of you have seen me talk about the Gibsonville police and the corruption that I've experienced. And so I just want to say, regardless if you personally believe me or you don't, that's irrelevant. What matters is how you treat people. When I was growing up, I grew up in Fayetteville. I went to foster care as a child because my mother was abusive. And foster care was supposed to be better, but it wasn't. And I grew up in the worst environment. And basically, if you disrespected somebody, it wasn't online. It was to their face. But you had to deal with the consequences of that. And so people were cautious about what they said because they knew you said the wrong thing, you would probably get punched in your face. I see younger people didn't grow up in that society. They feel free to comment on other people's stuff. And I'm not just talking about me, but just in general, just to be disrespectful. And then you have people, maybe that aren't necessarily young, that are going out of their way to make fun of somebody or say things they wouldn't say to them in person because they're on social media. Now this I've seen across all ages. And I don't get it. And it's like people are braver online because there's no social repercussion for it. When you say something to somebody, even if they don't, you keep wondering why I'm looking as distractions, but if they say something to you, in person, the consequences are there. It might not necessarily be physical, but embarrassment. But people have just become so comfortable with being disrespectful. And I can't believe it. And it's like, I've had people go out of their way to make fun of me, not actually understanding the situation or trying to understand. I say something and all they hear is, well, I said something about this person. And people just don't even want to see the evidence you posted, don't want to hear the story before they judge you. And personally, I've never put anybody on a pedestal. I've never just followed somebody or took their word just because their position. Now, with that said, I'm always respectful, but I'm specifically talking about the police right now. So we've been from childhood brainwashed to believe that just because of a person's position, they can't be corrupt. They can't be bad people. But in reality, there's nothing to weed out these people. Most of these people, when I'm talking about cops now, there's really just a little bit of training and that's it. There's nothing to weed out the bad ones. And then on top of that, socially, things have changed. As people are just have less moral values in my opinion. And these same people are becoming cops, lawyers, judges, you name it, in the government. And somebody like me, they say something, and keep in mind, I've added evidence I'm not just saying it, just coming off the top of my head. I'm actually added evidence, and instead of people having a discord, they immediately rush to mock me. And I've never seen so many people be wrong, but be so confident about it. And I talked with my wife last night. We were talking about the video, how clearly, like, I'm on camera walking up my driveway, and a person is just pretend they're not police officers for a moment, just as a regular person. I'm walking with my daughter, and a person comes up and tries to handcuff me. No warning, no nothing, just tries to handcuff me. If this wasn't a cop, it would be a different story, and this is the issue. But because he's a cop, it's automatically assumed that I had done something wrong. Even after arresting me and telling me, well, we were dispatched because of an argument, which wasn't even true, but taking the officer's side, even if it was true, legally speaking, doesn't give you the right to handcuff somebody, let alone anything else. And you have all these people commenting to give their opinion that have no clue what they're talking about. That's one of the issues in place that I see. They focus on, well, you were aggressive. What they mean is, after my rights were violated, I cursed out the officer. I did. And most people would be angry. But see, we've conditioned to be just like follow orders no matter what. So many people are commenting, having no clue of the law just because this is what they were told to do. And, that's not what I believe in. And so for me, I don't care, as I've said, about a person's position. I care about the way they treat me. And then I've posted evidence. Again, people are mocking me. People assume, especially when I'm like defend myself, that this is me just being a keyboard warrior. But in reality, I'm actually far more restrained online than I would be in person. And the reason is because anything that I say, because I'm talking about a controversial topic in an area that many people say is corrupt, you don't have to agree with me, and that's fine. But I personally believe it, and others believe it. So they're looking for a reason to jail me or make me look bad and smear my name. And then there's my children and my family. So I'm also cautious about what I say because I don't want to cause them harm, any more harm than they've already been, exposed to. And it's so I got to be more cautious. And to be honest, it's draining. It's draining having the evidence showing what I'm dealing with, and then still having random strangers judge me. It's draining putting my business on the internet for the world to see. I'm really a private person for the most part. I'm only putting my business to get justice. And so, you people that rush to judge me, you need to actually understand what you're talking about. And if you judge me based off of something that is actually true, I have no problem with that. But judging me because of me exposing something that you disagree with, when you don't have the ability to understand, it's not right. And so I just think, as a society, we need to do better. I mean, we're already seeing everything exposed. And so we have enough people that know what's going on with my family, that have the ability to do something, yet they're silent. And this is what also bothers me. our governors, our attorney generals, all these people that I have reached out to, our senators, which I've been talking about this for 4 years. People go out of their way to just try anything they can to criticize me or just take a shot at me, not fully understanding the story. These people, if you asked me a legitimate question, I would answer it. If you were actually trying to understand before you formed an opinion, I would understand. But many people aren't, I don't want to say no one. Many people aren't doing that. Instead, what they're doing is just attacking me. And then they call me, I had somebody call me a bitch. Not really sure how I'm a bitch, but I had somebody call me this. I had somebody that I never met call me that because I made a video showing the people mocking me. I took that video down, by the way, and the reason I took it down had to do with my wife talked with me. I took pictures of them and their kids to make the point of my kids are being harmed by this, and you people are mocking me. But the same people want to reference, well, you use, my kids, but it's like, what about my family? And so I would be a hypocrite to leave that post up while trying to get justice. That's why I took it down. Not out of fear. I don't fear no man walking this earth. I don't care how big a person is. Like I said, I grew up fighting to survive. 3, 4 people at a time. So these internet people, I'm not afraid. But I don't even like violence. Violence for me is a last resort. Violence is something that I think should be avoided unless it is absolutely necessary. I just think we resort to violence quick and we don't think. I see all these road rage incidents where people lost their temper. Do I think they were evil? No. But see, most people don't have control. And these same people are becoming cops. And then they're doing this to people like what I'm dealing with. Because what I dealt with wasn't because the officer was dispatched. It wasn't because the officer was investigating any crime. It was simply I hurt his feelings because I didn't want to talk with him.